right, we are back. Welcome back to Pro Bikini News Network. I'm your host, John Algandi, and in today's video, we got a big weekend. But first and foremost, we're going to recap the Republic of Texas Pro. I was going to talk about the Euro Muscle Show, but I wasn't paying attention to it as much. So, I mean, I did see that Alice Marchisio did win. She got her Olympic qualification. She did place second at the Indy Pro. So, congratulations to her. Because we have a lot of big shows this week and it's going to take too long to cover that one. So I wanted to talk about Republic of Texas because I did watch it. I did see everything play by play, but that's in person is much different than when I see it on the live stream or in pictures. So I'm going to go over the top 5 there and talk about this. First and foremost, congratulations to Bernadette and Helio for their show. They planned the show out at least a year, and they have a venue booked out like 2, 3, 4 years in advance to make a great show and great production. And the fans loved it. The athletes loved it. It's a great experience for both sides. At the finals, I was hearing in the commentary how that they had to get extra seats just for finals because it was packed and it was booked out because people wanted to see that show and see who was going to get their Olympic qualification. And first and foremost, congratulations to Reina Perez. She's now her 4-time Olympian. So we're going to get to that first, but let's go on our top 5. First, we have Savannah Dozel. So during the callouts, she was working her way in, and she eventually landed in the 5th place spot. I always think she has a beautiful look, but I just feel like it's how she poses sometimes in her front that kind of throws her up. But this is a good front pose for her, much better than before versus when she was like 2 sideways panel. I think for her, maybe she could fix this foot position just to help accentuate her physique. But beautiful look, suit, hair, glam. I do think she needs to be a little more tighter here. Shoulders are good. I think maybe she could probably fill out or just contain it right there so it doesn't look too lean. But where she's at, she doesn't need any more or she doesn't need an ounce size. I think the biggest thing is her glutes and her front. She just needs to have a little more upper glute, and that's something that she's going to continue to work on. Okay, so then let's go to her back. Let's see, which one was it? Here's her back. So here we go. Here's her back pose. I think it's pretty solid. I do think a little more delts in the back could balance this out, but from her, how her waist goes in to her back is great. The hair is perfect. She used to have her hair a little too low. This is great. Suit cut's really good. I just think a little more tighter in the back, it could help accentuate her physique. Just a little more projection. Like in the front, you can kind of tell that's what that needs to be worked on. And she's a smaller competitor, so in muscularity wise and in size. So that's something that if she brings that up, I definitely think that she's up in there to the spots to win. She is doing a show this week, and we're going to talk about her being one of the front runners to win. But this is pretty good. I think maybe how her feet position, it really helps her in this because if she was pointed out, she would be more quad dominant than glute dominant. But I think right now it's just balancing her glutes to her legs. That's something that I'm just seeing. Maybe her feedback's much differently, but if she brings that, I definitely could see her in a running to win a show. Okay, let me exit out. Right, next up we have Brittany Gillespie. Where's her front? Here we go. Did I delete that page? Okay, here we go. No, here we go. Here's Brittany. I definitely got to say, like, I'm really impressed with, and I commend her for keep going, and she knows she can qualify. I do think for here, it's just adjusting how her arm positioning is. I think she has a little too much detail. One thing about her is that sometimes it's like she's very like you look at her lower body first versus her upper body. You know, biggest thing is that her calves in the front. Like I'm looking at that right now. So I think for her, it's just filling our frame and so that some things don't start out more than ever. She has an incredible, amazing bikini structure. I just feel like for her, it's just filling out, not looking too lean and too hard sometimes. And I honestly think if she nails it with a great peak, with the timing of the show, and she comes in how she poses, it definitely helps her physique up. But I definitely think for her, it's just balancing her upper body to her lower body. So it's not like I'm going to be looking at from waist down versus like looking at whole thing. Just bikini is all about balance. And if she could just find that way to balance it out, this would really help her move up. I honestly think when I saw in the comparisons for the top four, her and Reina standing next to each other, they honestly look like twin sisters, except Reina's only 2 inches taller. Brittany's 5'4", and a lot of people think she's tall. She's not. She's small. But I honestly think this is a great look for her. I do like the red suit. The darker color on her is much, I feel like, helps with her lighter skin tone and her hair. When she goes with like a lighter color or like a what's that like that lavender, like that like pastel purple, I feel like it just kind of washes out. And she has a darker suit color, it works well. The red suit is great on her. She has done green in the past. At one point, and I have said this to her, I know she's done green before and I think it's great on her, but at one point I hope she does like a royal blue for her. And that's just my preference, but then again, you're the athlete, you make the choice, make your decisions. But she's doing such a great job with bringing her physique up. All right, in the back, here we go. Honestly, this is really great back pose. And like I said, I felt like her and Reina have a similar structure, similar physique, but just the height difference. She has higher lats just like her as well, and longer torso. So one thing I think about her is just balancing her glutes, hamstrings a lot for her. And I definitely think the conditioning's on point. I don't think she doesn't, her conditioning's pretty spot on. She just needs to nail it. Even Tyler said she has great conditioning, just needs to come in the tight package. Sometimes her calf, like I've even heard commentary say like her calves take over her hamstrings. I just feel like she just has a little more to balance this out. It's a great backwards. Honestly, it's one of the best, and a lot of people would love to have this kind of physique. Shoulders are good, hair's fine. I would kind of brush it a bit so you don't see through the connectors right here, but very beautiful look for her. I also sometimes think, you could see sometimes when she gets too lean, her triceps start to show a lot more, and you see like this line in her calf in the front. I just think she just needs to fill out and nail that. And if she does that, she's a winner. In any show she walks into, she's a contender to win. And if she does that in this show that she's going to do this weekend, I definitely think that she has a Olympia qualification coming her way. All right. Third, we had Sharon from Dominican Republic. She is amazing from the front and always brings a great physique in any show that she does. I always feel like in the back, it's just nailing her conditioning. For her, I've the white suit, it's rare people do that. I mean, she has darker skin tone, so it works very well. I like her in the teal suit much better. I don't know if I could see her in a pink. I don't. She has done like royal blue in the past, but I definitely think that she has such an amazing like presentation and posing. But it's just in beautiful skin, and a lot of people keep saying this in the commentary that like what's her skin hair routine. She is very beautiful, but she told me that she doesn't do drugs, she doesn't do any of that, and she takes care of herself and she looks amazing. And I definitely think when you go against the top two girls, I felt like that was something that they were just more tighter, I feel like, than she was. But honestly, conditioning spot on. I do think maybe she could add a little more shoulder pumped in the front that could have helped accentuate her physique, but very well balanced from top to bottom. I think that's what carried her over Brittany and to get from third to fourth. But in my opinion, I think the teal suit's much better on her. I mean, I look at the most common colors. It's red, blue, teal, and purple. And I definitely think like the lighter colors work really well with her and help accentuate. But this is a great look. Makeup's good as well. Right in the back. See, this is really good, really strong, well balanced out. But I feel like she just needs, like, I feel like that's kind of her common issue. Is just needs to be a little more tighter in the glutes in the back. And if she nails it and doesn't come in like just gets one film of water off, I definitely think it's gonna carry over. This hair is beautiful, shoulders are good, very well balanced. I just definitely think it's just a matter of nailing the conditioning. And if she can do that, I definitely think that she's in a running to win. But this is really solid. Suit cuts fine. I mean, I do also could see a yellow on her, like Tamikia Carter and India Paulino have done in the past. that could work very well with her as well. Um, but I definitely think he's just nailing her condition because she has such an amazing physique. I definitely think that she, whatever show she's in, she is a contender. She wants to be at the Olympia, on the Olympia stage as a contender, not a number. And I definitely think that if she can do that and nailing that with her posing, going throughout and not fade when they go through rounds of comparisons, I definitely think that she's running to win. But I definitely think for her, what the top two girls had was just a little more tighter than she was, and nailed their conditioning. But I definitely think this is a good look. Tines are good, balances out. She's got great calves. I mean, the top four girls, the top three of the top 4 or 5 girls have great calves. Calves don't matter, but it just, you have them. It's great genetics. It doesn't count against you. But I definitely think she's obviously like right there to win it. She's had almost every spot in the. She's in the top 5. She's either like getting second to fourth, and it's just a matter of time before she eclipses and gets her win. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she's doing and when she tries to get her qualification this weekend. Second place, we had Nay. So Nay's got an amazing physique, amazing structure. The thing is her, because she's longer arms, longer legs, and shorter torso. It's just how she does her front pose. I saw what she looked like in Nevada State. She's posing on the different side. I think for her, it's getting into a front pose that she's comfortable with. Conditioning wise, really good. Doesn't need any more conditioning. Like, it's saying glute genetics. A lot of people wish they had that. I think she's kind of bunched in, kind of with her. She kind of looks. She just needs to relax this and open this up a bit. I think her foot positioning could be just a little adjusted, have this foot just a little out to help accentuate her frame more. But suit's great. Hair, makeup are really good. She needs to come in more fuller because sometimes I feel like her lower body is, more prevalent than her upper body. You could see little leanness right here in her bicep and in her shoulders, and she just fills that out to balance out her lower body. She's a winner. A lot of people had her winning, and some judges even said she could have won. And a lot of people said that she was robbed or anything, and I disagree. It's just how she came in versus other girls. It's really who showed up and nailed it. And I do think if her front was just as good as Reina's was, she probably could have won. But I feel like if that was adjusted, it could help, because in the back she's very strong and comparable. She had the best back pose probably in the show, comparable to Reina, but I just feel like her front needs to match that, and she just needs to find that balance in her physique. And if she can do that, definitely could say whatever show she's in, she's already Olympia qualified, so she had nothing to lose here. I just feel like for her, it's just finding something that works so that when she gets to the Olympia, she's a girl to go for the top spots. So let's get into her back. Her back pose is really good. I feel like because she has her feet positioned out a bit, it's just so that her glutes don't overpower her legs. Tines are good. These are insane glute genetics. I mean, we talk about that when you're born like that. It's really great. Suit cut's fine. I feel like maybe a little fabric right here could help, so it doesn't look like she's a little fat up top. But she's really full. She's great. You can even see it in her back. Her shoulders are too lean, so that's something I think that she needs to work on, is just filling that out. But this is very well balanced with everything. And like I said, I just think it's her front that needs to be comparable to her back. If that's in a position that she feels comfortable with when they do posing, she's lights out. She beats everybody. I don't know if I'm seeing this, but maybe tanning issues a bit. I don't know if it's the lighting. The lighting's okay here. I mean, they do red and white. I mean, it's the colors of the show, but you could kind of see some dark areas and some light areas. I think it's just lighting. I don't know. I mean, but honestly, seeing her, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But I feel like I said, it's always going to be like her front that needs to match. Her front pose is something that needs to be worked on. And that's something that she can continue to do within 90 days now. Great. So now we have our winner. Reina. Okay, first, when she came out in the red suit, I was like, oh, I pray to God that not many people were wearing red, but unfortunately, red's a popular color now. So she did go with the red suit. But I will tell you this, her makeup is pretty good here. In the past, it's kind of like you don't see much because she is smaller eyes. Really beautiful, really beautiful girl, really beautiful physique. This is a great front pose, and this is we've been talking about. If she had a good front pose, it would make a really good physique. You're talking about someone who is a contender to do well and be a potential top 10 and compare very well to obviously the top tier in the Olympia, even Miss Olympia champions. I mean, this is really great for her, really well balanced. I do think I would adjust this shoulder position, kind of relax it. I don't know if it was because it was how she was posing, but if she can just relax this arm just a little bit, kind of like right here, because you want your elbows to kind of line up almost like in line with your glute, but hamstrings are good, balances out with her glutes, so it's not so overpowering. Like I said, just a couple adjustments up top because she's longer torso, has higher lats. She just needs to find that way to adjust it, and she can continue to improve on this. I mean, honestly, last year she had a 1 point difference with Ashley K, compared very well with Ashley this year in Mile High, and then last year in the comparisons at the Olympia, she's standing next to Issa, and they're the same height, but it's her front that, like I said, always need to match with her back. And she honestly has one of the best back poses. And a lot of people wish they had that kind of genetics that she has right here. And hey, I mean, she's a top girl. I think maybe her tan was a little too light. I don't know. When I saw the comparisons, you saw, I think Brittany a little more darker, and her, it was more like, I just feel like that if her tan's good and she has a great front to match her back and comes in right on, she's good. This is a full look because in the past, Brayna always was like too conditioned or too hard. And when she started winning here and started doing well here versus just winning in Mexico, she understood criteria better and got better. I mean, her first pro show in US was the Arizona, and she got fifth, and then she continued to get better from there. So I think she has now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pro wins, half of them being in the US. So if she continues with these improvements, even win the World Classic, and she's won RGV and the Republic of Texas. So I definitely think if she continues this trajectory going forward, and whether she chooses to do a show or not, if she chooses to do another Olympic qualification, another show in August or whatever leading up to Olympia, I definitely think that all she could do is test something out and see what she can do and how to improve on that. But definitely very strong competitor, very strong contender to be a top tier Olympian. Okay, let's go into her back pose. Let's see. This is really good back pose. I love her hair. I would adjust it so that it's not looking like she's sitting on her glutes, but I feel like balance is there. Tie-ins are great. Conditioning's good. I mean, this is as full as she looked. This is a tattoo right there. That's not a line. She has a tattoo on her upper, let me see, her upper right hip and glute. I mean, she has one obviously on her stomach, and she's obviously never had a bad, distension or anything. I've never seen that from her, but this was really well peaked. This is pretty spot on. I mean, she walked in, I felt like when she did her individuals, you're like, she's winning the show. Not because she's obviously a front runner to win, but you never know. Like her and Nay were like, they had very good things, but obviously she had the more complete package and overall look, and definitely think this is great. But honestly, this is one of the strongest back poses. I do think maybe for her, she could be just a little more tighter in the conditioning, just a little more tighter, because this is really good. Like what she had was great. Even though Nay had a great back pose, her front, and then you have to look at overall look as a way out. So, that's 2 out of 3. And Reyna had that best 2 out of 3 look in this whole physique. Suit color, suit's fine. I think maybe a little more fabric because you do see this tailbone right here. This is a different suit company. It's not American. I mean, I would recommend Toxic Angels bikinis. Use code JAYY. Just saying. But yeah, I definitely think going to be very comparable, very strong, and I definitely think that she's going to make those improvements. And I'd like to see her move up and do very well at the Olympia and take those top spots. And it's just going to be a matter of how she nails it when it comes by that time. And I definitely think that she's one of the best international pros right now with the Miss Olympia Issa right now, because she's won a lot of shows here. And that's one thing that I hope people can see is that you start competing here, you get uncomfortable just winning outside US and start winning in US. You're going to be someone that judges look at, and you're going to be a contender to win. And then you wonder why you see athletes like Evie Eskandar or Phoebe Hagen in the top placings at the Olympia, is because they competed here and they won here and they got used to criteria here. And I definitely think even Issa as well, because and that's why they do very well. And I think that's something that Reina can continue to do and improve on. And listen, this was a great show. I definitely think she came in, she wanted to nail it. She wanted to get her qualification early so she doesn't feel pressure towards the end, and definitely has that now. So now it's just a matter of, okay, I got 100, I got 90 days to make the improvements and to come in at one of my best and to keep improving for that. And I definitely think that Reina is in a contention to be a top tier Olympian, eventually be in that first call out eventually. I don't know about this year, but I think eventually she'll get there. But honestly, if she comes in on point, there's no question about that. So with that being said, I'm going to exit out of these. We have a big weekend. We have 4 shows. The Taiwan show, I only know Jibin Park, so I don't know anybody else. I'm going to say that most likely she's a front runner to do it. I'm not going to do any of these girls justice. I didn't have time, but we have 2 shows in the US with some good competitors. But I think Colombia, we got competitors from all over, even former Olympians who are in the show. So I definitely think those 3 shows are something to pay attention to, especially Colombia. I know it's a show that's going to be happening on a Sunday, but that show has Tyler Mannion judging, so obviously he's going to have a video. We're going to pay attention to that, and that's something I hope people can learn and say, he's trying to make sure that they meet criteria, what happens at the Olympia. Chicago Pro is another good one. Right now, I don't know how many people, I don't think anyone's currently qualified on that one. I think there's a lot of girls who are trying to qualify. They're trying to do that. LA Championships, you have Tiana, obviously Olympia qualified, and you have a lot of girls who are in that contention to win it. But I definitely think this is going to be a very interesting weekend and a very interesting show day weekend. So let's start with, let's go here. Let's go with Chicago. So some notables here. I will say Kate Carroll. She's a previous Olympian. Savannah, she's been doing pretty well this season. Jessica Delias, she did pretty well at her last show. Marie Eve is a previous Olympian. Let's see, Juliana, we know who she is. Savannah Watchman and Jody Yunker. So we're going to look through all of them. So Kate. So I had Kate as one of the front runners last week, but I don't know if she had the muscle mass incomparable. I don't know if she missed her peak. From what I saw, I feel like she was just only maybe a little bit of water. And her physique, I feel like it was pretty good. I just feel like has just how she balances it out, but she's one to be looking out for. I mean, last year she beat Ashley. So when you beat Ashley, you're someone who's going to be talked about. I definitely think that she's one of the girls to be looking out for. Let me see here. Go to here. Let me pull up this. Okay. We're going to go. Here we go. All right. So then I would say one of our front runners to win would be Savannah Dolezal. We did talk about her. Like I said, I feel like she won the show in the past, but what I'm hoping for this show is that they don't do that like fire background like they have in the past 2 years. It washes people out. I'm just praying to God Tim Garner Productions gets their shit together. Unfortunately, this show doesn't have open, so I think it's going to run by very smooth. They do have master's classes as well. So we have Savannah Jess Dolius. She started off not so good, but then she's slightly getting better every show. I feel like in her past couple of shows, she came out too muscular, but definitely love this look. Definitely like her hair here. She does wear a wig because she has shorter hair. I think it's just coming into nailing conditioning and not coming in too hard or way too tight. Let's see. Then we have Marie Eve. It's been a while since we've seen her on stage. She did take 3rd at the Arnold UK, and she was, I think, 1 spot away from qualifying last year against Ashley at the Clash. So I don't think she's done a show since then. But she has a beautiful look to her. Let me see if I have any stage photos. Anything from the back? This is comparisons. Let me just do a straight on front back. Here we go. Here we go. Beautiful look, beautiful hair, suit, makeup. I do think one of the things I would critique her on is like her front is like her waist. Like she just has to become tighter. She does have a thicker waistline. So that she comes in more tighter than that and obviously fills out her frame. I definitely think that she's in a contention to win. And she'll come in fresh. So that's one thing that we're gonna see is that some of these competitors have competing a lot. It's just who's gonna nail it. And she's gonna come in more fresh because she hasn't competed since last year, I believe. See, so Marie Eve, we have Juliana. So she won the Arnold Amateur overall and then got third in her first pro show. But then the past couple of shows, she's been not placing. I feel like for her, it's just these competitors are much tougher. And I feel like she's a little more smaller. I definitely think it's just she needs more time. She just needs overall more to her. She has a beautiful physique. And she's a beautiful girl, but I feel like stage presence and just more to her frame. She's a tall, like she's an E class girl, so she's about 5'5", 5'6". But so it's just something that she needs to just fill out with. But she's one to be looking out for. Savannah Watchman. She's a previous Miss USA overall winner. She's been doing pretty well. She's been gradually moving up in spots. So I just definitely think it's with her new coach is just adapting to that. And I definitely think it's showing every show that she's getting better slightly. One thing about her sometimes I feel like she comes in way too hard and way too conditioned. I mean, she's such an impressive physique. Let's see this. This is from Republic of Texas. So now that she's made top 10 again, I definitely think that's something that she needs to, continue to build that momentum. I feel like here you kind of see it. She's too vascular. You see it in her bicep right here. Just needs to fill that out. More shoulders that could help her. And then Jody. So Jody to me will be the most interesting one because she does well when she's spot on and she comes in full. I feel like sometimes she, even at the Olympia, from what I saw, she was just way too hard. But as she come in way too conditioned, I just feel like as she comes in spot on, a lot of times she's been like getting second place a lot. But she has an amazing physique, but I just feel like she comes in way too hard, way too like conditioned. I think for her, if she nails it, I don't know. I mean, this is one thing that, like I said, the one thing that I feel like is really interesting is that she's now with a new coach with Ludacris. Ludacris is known for wellness. You know, he used to coach Cass, who won the Arnold in wellness, and she was fourth at the Olympia, and Marissa Andrews. But I don't know if Chris has ever done any bikini, ever coached a bikini Olympian before in the past. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm not critiquing the coach. I just never seen him with a bikini coach, and to coach a bikini girl, but I'm interested to see how that goes with Jody's new look. I mean, I always felt like Jody has such a great physique, but it just comes in too conditioned. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, she's made the improvements, she's adjusted, and we'll see how that happens. But I would say that she could be comparable to Savannah for the win. I definitely think they have a similar look, but I think Jody's going to come here more fresh. But if she comes in and nails it, she's definitely taking this win. But I think for me, I mean, I'm going to have my top 5 prediction, top 6 prediction. I think most likely Savannah is the front runner to win it. All right. Next up, we have LA Championships. So we got a list. A lot of these girls that I see here, they've been taking second to some top tier Olympians and top pros. Tiana's our front runner because she's Olympia qualified and doing this show, she's got nothing to lose. Let's find her win. Let's see. That was my post. Do I have a front and back of her? Anything from we have anything from that show? They don't do any live streams for Lasso contest. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's go to my post. Actually, I think I have a picture of her. Here we go. Here's she's young, very beautiful girl. I definitely think for her, she just needs more time. And, obviously she's young, only 21 years old. So that's something that she's going to continue working on. This is a good look for her. I mean, if she nails it, just like she did in Nevada State, she's a contender to go for the title and to go for the title and win here and, see how it goes. But I definitely think that she's one to be looking out for and the one who most likely can take the win and, be in the top spots. All right. Let's go with the next girl. So Fatou, she took second at Legion. I think she has such amazing physique, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like during the posing at Nevada State, she kind of like faded, but against these other girls. But she has such an amazing physique and structure. Being a tall girly, honestly, the waist. I mean, 17 inches is ridiculous. Like crazy proportions. Like people should look like this at 40, but I feel like, yeah, you kind of saw how like lean she got and she lost her fullness. You saw in her ribs. I feel like needs more up top in her shoulders to balance out her lower body. And now she's with a new coach, so we'll see how that goes. And I definitely think with her new coach, she can nail the peak and come in at her one all-time best, and she could so happily take this win here. Next up, we have Tori, who just took second to Tiana in Nevada State. Amazing physique, amazing structure. I mean, and like almost, I'd say that she's almost like Reina, and she has a physique similar to Reina and Brittany Gillespie. She has a longer torso, higher lats. I feel like for her, she just needs more shoulders just to balance in her front. And I think that she could just relax her arms a bit because it looks like she's pinching her back up here. Amazing physique, amazing bikini structure. And her glutes are great. I just feel like it's just balancing her upper to her lower body right here in her front because it just looks like her shoulders. If she gets her shoulders pumped up just a little bit and grows that width more, and how it accentuates and cuts into her physique, this is definitely someone who can win here. And I definitely believe that she knows that she's going to be a contender to win this show here. Let's see. Lolo. So Lolo started off the year with a new coach. She took, I believe, ninth at DC Pro. What did she get at Indy? I forgot. I think she was somewhere in the top 10 at Indy. Again, I think one of her issues that I think prevents her from winning is coming in way too conditioned, way too hard. Amazing physique, and sometimes how she does her poses, it looks semi-figure like, but the purple suit's great on her. I've seen her do green. I think this is her look. She has the beautiful look, beautiful structure, but I just feel like needs to nail it with coming in with fullness and being on point. And she doesn't need to be way too conditioned. She has good conditioning in any show she's in. She has shorter glute inserts. Tie-ins are good. But I just think for her, it's just putting that all right together. And if she can do that, I definitely say that she's a contender to win. I don't know. I think she's took it second like 2, 3, 4 times. I mean, I've lost track because she's definitely someone who could have qualified even last year. So then another second place girl, Cynthia. So she did her debut at Tahoe, took second to Jessica Wilson, the Masters Olympia champion. I think she's got an amazing physique, but it's just how she poses this. How she poses. She's got a beautiful look, beautiful hair, beautiful look. I definitely think that she gradually got better from her last show to this one, and I definitely think that she can. I mean, she's now with a new coach from her previous coach, but if she can nail that whole look that she brings with coming in tight and just not coming in way too hard, way too conditioned, and just adjusting couple posing things, she's definitely a contender to win. I mean, I think she did well here, and then she did well in her first show, but then I feel like she slowly like slipped a bit, and now she's getting back into it. Now she's getting back into it. So I definitely think in this lineup, she could definitely make a name for herself. Let's see. Jewel. I remember her because last year in Vancouver, she took second to Ashley Kay. So she was one spot away from qualifying. She's a European competitor. I think she's better off doing shows here in the US versus in Europe, because in Europe and other countries, she's like outside top 5 and outside doing plays. But I honestly think that she has such an amazing, pretty look to her. But I definitely think that it's just how she comes in. Like the past couple of shows, she was like 13th, 14th. She was like 9th, I think, in what was it? The one that Valeria girl won. What's it? Prague. But I feel like I don't know how she did in Portugal. I think she was maybe within the top 10 or just a little bit outside of it. She's got amazing glutes, amazing. But I feel like her front needs to just match that. Her front needs to match her back pose. And just not come in too hard and not too conditioned. And I just think a couple of posing adjustment tweaks can definitely help her out. And then Judy Son. I haven't seen her on stage in a while. She is a former Miss USA overall winner. Definitely has an amazing structure, but I feel like she just needed to fill out her frame. She's short, but has longer, like I said, kind of like Brittany Gillespie with like longer limbs, longer arms, longer torso. Just needs to fill that out. We'll see how it goes here. And our final show, Colombia. So we got all types of girls. We got all types of girls from all types of backgrounds, all types of shows. I mean, the biggest surprise here is seeing Brittany Gillespie going to Colombia. And I was thinking she was most likely going to do Chicago or LA, but hey, look, this is a great lineup. Nobody here is qualified. I do recognize names because I have seen some of these girls compete in the US. So Lorena Blanco, she took second in the UK show to Lisa, and she took second at this Hungary show to the Victoria girl. She has a beautiful look. I think she's better off in US shows than, like I said, even that Jewel girl, she gets used to criteria here. She's been 4th place. Was it Tahoe and then 6th at Tampa? And if she can do that, I definitely think she can do very well here. But being judged in front of Tyler, we're going to have to see how that goes. Let me see if I find anything from her last show. No stage pics. No. Does this video have any stage pictures? I do like the green suit on her. The red, and then she does the red makeup. It's just red. I don't want to give a beautiful face, but if you have too much going on, and also one thing is brushing her hair. If she just finesses a little bit, she definitely has a good look. And I definitely see from this video backstage, has a beautiful look. Just needs to fill out and not come in too lean. You can kind of see in her glutes like striations there. Cute and adorable girl. Yeah, this is from Tahoe. Like I said, her hair needs to be a little bit brushed. Tampa. She got 6th. Spain competitor. Alina. She's competed here before. And I always think that she has such crazy physique, crazy delts. She's from Kyrgyzstan. She did do a couple, I think she's done Mile High in the past. A lot of individual picks. Need a stage fix. We're getting there. Here we go. I think this is from the Kazakhstan show. The hair, I would fix the hair. The red lipstick, it's just too distracting. She's got a beautiful look and I think amazing like delts, but I feel like sometimes her delts overpower her front and it just overtakes that. Like I could show you in another show that she did. About 1 or 2 years ago, I believe. She reminds me of that girl from Russia who was in the top 10. What's her name? such a long. She was really popular. Can't remember if it's gonna come to me. Yana. She reminds me of Yana. I forgot to say her last name, but she was top 10 in 2017 Olympia. She kind of has that kind of similar look, similar physique to her, but obviously she's kind of like modernized because that 2017 look would be destroyed probably today. Did a show in India. Yeah, the one thing I'd say about her is just, you know, don't have your shoulders overpower her physique. Where's where's Mile High? Okay, here we go. So this was, yeah, she did Miami. Like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, from the back, you see her delts are like, she's got great width, but it's just like her delts make her arms look small. So maybe needs just more arms to that and just tighten just a little more like better conditioning. She's way too tight here within her glute hamstring tie in. She got top 6. Yeah, she got top 6. She was 4th in Mile High. So I remember that show. Yeah. Just needs to fill out, you know. But she's got an amazing physique. It's just, I feel like I see so many great physiques, but just feel like they're either too hard, too soft, or just one body part standing out more than the other. But honestly, I don't see how this gets 8th, but this is honestly a good look for her. But I feel like she has one elbow back. She's, if she just fixes how her hand positioning is and adjusts to that, definitely can see her in the running. But we'll see how it goes here. Okay. Ellie, she's a favorite because she's won this show before. Back when Colombia Pro used to be in like early in the year, I think it was 2019, she won the show. Being a 7-time Olympian, she's definitely a front runner and a person to be looking out for. She took 3rd in Toronto, and she was, I think, 12 in Indy Pro, which was shocking to me. But I would say Ellie is a girl to be looking out for. Brittany, we did talk about. Mariana, she did compete last week. She does well in the South American shows, but in the US, like, I feel like it was just a learning experience to see how it looks like. Got a great structure. I feel like she just needs to, adjust the criteria to US, and being judged in front of a US judge like Tyler, I definitely think that's going to be great feedback for her and what to go about and what to do. And you know what, even though it didn't go well for her, hey, you know what? It's all learning experience, and see what you can work and improve on. I think for her, just needs glutes to match her legs and just needs to fill out her frame because she is a taller and longer girl. I think she's about like 5'7". It just needs to not come in way too hard. Let's see. So let's go to, Amanda Marquez. It's been a while since I've seen her on stage. She did the Brazil show. She took 5th, which I was shocked about because I felt like she was definitely one of the girls that could have won that show or been the top 2. She has such a beautiful physique, beautiful look. I felt like she just needed more to her frame, being a taller girl. I know she likes Janet a lot, so she kind of mimics her movements and does kind of what she does. She has the shoulders for it, so yeah, she can do it. She's longer, she's taller. But I definitely hope to see what she can bring. It's been a while. I think it's been since March or April. I mean, to go like this, I think last year when she was it last year she did the Arnold? Yeah, last year she did the Arnold. To go like this, to go from here, to grow into her physique, I definitely think she has the improvements, and she's got incredible genetics for Brazil. And, they have such great genetics in Brazil. It's just, they got to get used to criteria here. They got to compete. If she competed here, she could win some shows. She could be a top girl. I just feel like she just needed to fill her frame out, and she's definitely done that. And if she can bring those improvements, and this is going to be a challenge against a lot of Olympians, especially a top Olympian like Ellie, she can definitely be a girl to win the show. But she's got such amazing genetic and great bikini structure. I mean, I see these girls from all over, and I'm just like, if they just adjusted here and they got used to here, like Phoebe and Evie Escobar have done in the past, they could do very well. Sharon, we talked about. So I'd say that she's one of the girls to be the favorite to win. Danny, she turned pro at Junior USA's, took 5th in the World Classic, and then she was just seventh place, but I honestly could argue and say she could have been fifth place. But I just feel like she has improved her front post. I just feel like just needs more glutes and just a little more shoulders to her physique. But she's got a beautiful look, beautiful structure. I mean, she lives in Puerto Rico, but she's from US. But I definitely would say that she's one girl to be looking out for. I mean, whether she does well or not, I definitely think she has such an amazing bikini frame. I would adjust maybe how her feet position are, maybe just a little bit, because it feels like her toes are just way too pointed out. But I feel like that helps accentuate so that it's like her legs overtake her, like her glutes don't overtake her legs. So that's one thing I notice about what she's doing. Got an amazing physique, and she's got a lot of potential in the future. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she's doing and how she does here. So then we have, let's see, Anna. She's taken second, third in a couple shows. Got an amazing physique. I just think she comes in way too hard. And just how she does her front needs to be fixed. Like how this elbow goes in like that. I just feel like she could just relax it and just fill out. That's all she's only 5'6", so one thing about her, you can kind of see like that cut in her leg. Just needs to fill out much better. She's a great poser. But I definitely think that just needs to adjust a couple things, and she can get an Olympic qualification. She's definitely going to be someone to be looking out for here. And then we have, Marioli. So a lot of shows she's been like fourth, fifth. Has a beautiful look. Sometimes I just feel for that she just needs to, let me get a close up. I just think she needs more shoulders to balance out this physique. Not a fan of the pink suit on her. She looks too Barbie. Blonde hair, pink suit, you look like a Barbie. I feel like the blue suit or the red suit would is much better on her that I've seen in the past. She's from, I think, Bolivia. And she's done well in shows. I just feel like this is a good look from Arizona. No, let me see. Let's see here. Let's go. See. Here we go. Much better. Like the dirty blonde hair with the reds, it's really well with her. When she did the blue suit in the past, her makeup was blue, and it's like blue. You just want to find the way to make your glam and your presentation and your physique all go blend in together. But I feel like this look was pretty good here. I don't know if she was in the top 5 or outside the top 5 at the show. I can't recall. It's been about 2 years, so I definitely think as she does that and how she looks with other girls, and just comes in with a much better like presentation and whole look with her physique matching. I just feel like more shoulders, just a little bit, just more glute projection. I definitely think that could help her out. But like I said, this is from 2 years ago, so it's much different than what we see now. I think the Charlotte show that she did, it just wasn't. I mean, she was in the top 10 and Charlotte, and in I think was it Girl Power, yeah. But I just feel like she was just missing something that other girls had. And then we have Rania. So a lot of the shows she's doing that's outside US, I don't think she's competed in the US at all. She's most likely like top 3, top 5, top 6. Like she does well in shows outside US. I feel like she's better when she does the red suit versus the pink suit with her blonde hair. Something about her, she's just coming in way too muscular. One thing about another thing is she has a thicker waistline, so she just has to find a way to bring that in and just fill out her frame. Could use more shoulders because they are a little small in comparison to her arm. She comes in tighter and just fills out. I just think she does that one thing and brings her shoulders up. She's pretty solid. Great calves, by the way, but like I said, just needs to not come in way too muscular and way too hard. I don't know if she's going to get top 5 here. I'd say that she's somewhere between, like, with this lineup, and I don't know, I'd say in Colombia, because they have in Colombia, they have the amateurs on Saturday, and then the pros come on Sunday. And those amateurs who win the overall and win their pro card to compete on Sunday, but I could see her possibly like maybe 7th, 10th place, perhaps. I don't see her as a top 5 girl in this show. I'm sorry, I just don't know. I mean, the U.S. criteria is much different, but I mean, someone could be off and she could be in those top spots. So, with that being said, let's get into predictions. I have to look at these lists. Get here. By the way, I'm doing this now where it's like I look at the results from the show and see how off I was. So, Republic of Texas, 79%. Only 2 girls I had did not place, and that was Neji and Malu, but my placings were not that off. I think the lowest I had that from a girl that placed within the top spots was Kate, who got 15th, and Marissa, she got 6th. But I was actually pretty good. And then Euro Muscle, pretty good here. Scarlett placed outside top 10. She got 15th. So let's do LA Championships. Let's do Colombia. Let's do Chicago. Okay, here we go. Chicago, I'm going Savannah. I'm going to go Savannah Dozel. Go Jody. Kate. Probably going to do It's tough. I'm going to go Marie Eve, Kate, Savannah Watchman. Probably going to pick 2 more. I'm probably going to say Nina. All right, LA. I'll go Fatou, Tori, Tiana, Lolo. It's tough. 5th and 6th is tough. I'm gonna go Cynthia, and then Jewel. Now Colombia is where I think is going to be tough. Do this. Top 10. Okay, here we go. Colombia. I'm gonna go Sharon. Britt. Damn, it's tough. Uh, hmm. I'm gonna go Amanda. Ellie. Um, Danny. I'm gonna go Marioli. Anna. Alina. I'm gonna go Mariana. And then Rania. Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. But like I said, this could be anyone's game right here. But these girls probably are like right with the criteria. All right, that's all I have for today. And I'm looking forward to this whole weekend. It's going to be a crazy weekend. I mean, someone's going to get qualified. We're going to breach 60 athletes after this weekend, unless Tiana holds one of them off and comes an Olympia blocker. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the first 2 weeks of August with Tampa and Texas, because that's going to be a lot of star-studded athletes, a lot of like the best athletes that could come out of that show. I mean, Tampa Pro, people who've won that show, they wind up winning the Olympia. And we've kind of seen a pattern in history that I've seen with that. But the following week is just Vancouver. So, and we have the USA's obviously next week. I'm going to cover that, cover some athletes, because there are a lot of girls I see that are going to be potential great IFBB pros coming out of that. And I'll have another interview this week. I'll have another Q&A posted, and I look forward to seeing you guys. And if you like these videos, tell me who you guys like. Who do you see you going to win? And if you guys want to have anyone that you think that maybe I don't see, or anyone that I can probably look at, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.